You understand I am anxious. This Johannesburg, it is no place for a boy to be alone. Good. Let us begin then. So they walked many kilometers through the city. After a long time, a car stopped, and a white man spoke to them. "Where are you two going?" he asked. "To Alexandra, sir," said Msimango, taking off his hat. "I thought you might be. Climb in." That was a great help to them, and at the turn to Alexandra, they got out and said their thanks. "It is a long journey," said the white man, "and I know that you have no buses." They stood to watch him go on, but he did not go on. He turned his car round and was soon on the road back to Johannesburg. "Huh?" said Msimango. "That is something." It was still a long way to 23rd Avenue, and as they passed one avenue after the other, Msimango explained that Alexandra was outside the boundaries of Johannesburg, and was a place where a black man could buy land and own a house. But the streets were not cared for, and there were no lights, and so great was the demand for houses that every man, if he could, built rooms in his yard and let them to others. Many of these rooms were the hiding places of thieves, and there was much sex and drinking. At last they came to the house they were looking for. A woman opened the door to them. She gave them no greeting, and when they stated their business, she let them in without enthusiasm. "You say the boy has gone, Mrs. Mkize?" "Yes. I do not know where he has gone." "When did he go?" "These many months. A year it must be." "And had he a friend?" "Yes, another Kumalo, the son of his father's brother, but they left together." "And do you not know where they went?" "They talked of many places, but you know how these young men talk." "How did he behave himself, this young man Absalom?" Kumalo asked her. Have no doubt it is fear in her eyes. Have no doubt it is fear now in his eyes also. It is fear here in this house. "I saw nothing wrong," she said. "Then why are you afraid?" "I am not afraid," she said. "Then why do you tremble?" asked Msimangu. "I am cold," she said. She looked at them carefully. "We thank you," said Msimangu. "Stay well." "Go well," she said. Out in the street, Kumalo spoke. "There is something wrong. I do not deny it. My friend, 2 of us are too many together. Turn left at the big street and wait for me there." Heavy-hearted, the old man went, and Msimango returned to the house. She opened again to him, just as before. "I am not from the police," he said. "I wish to have nothing to do with them. But there is an old man suffering because he cannot find his son." "That is a bad thing," she said. But she spoke just words, not her feelings. "It is a bad thing," he said, "and I cannot leave you until you have told me what you would not tell." "I have nothing to tell," she said. "You have nothing to tell because you are afraid, and you do not tremble because it is cold." "And why do I tremble?" she asked. "That I do not know, but I shall not leave you till I discover it. And if it is necessary, I shall go to the police after all, because there will be no other place to go." "It is hard for a woman who is alone," she said. "It is hard for an old man seeking his son." "I am afraid," she said. "He is afraid also. Could you not see he is afraid?" "I could see it, Umfundisi." "Then tell me, what sort of a life did they lead here, these 2 young men?" But she kept silent, with the fear in her eyes. He could see that she would be hard to move. "I am a priest. Would you not take my word?" But she kept silent. "Have you a Bible? I will swear to you on that." But she kept silent till he said again, "I will swear to you on the Bible." So, getting no peace, she went to a room behind and returned with the Bible. "I am a priest," he said. My yes has always been yes, and my no, no. But because you desire it, and because an old man is afraid, I swear to you on this book that no trouble will come to you of this, for we seek only a boy. What sort of a life did they lead? They brought many things here, Mfundisi, in the late hours of the night. They were clothes, and watches, and money, and food in bottles, and many other things. Was there ever blood on them? I never saw blood on them, Mfundisi. That is something. Only a little, but something. And why did they leave? I do not know, Mfundisi, but I think they were near to being discovered. And you do not know where they are gone? No, but they were friendly with the taxi driver, Hlabeni. Near the bus rank he lives. Everyone knows him. For that I give you thanks. Stay well, Mrs. Mkize. He met Kumalo at the corner, and they soon found Hlabeni, the taxi driver, sitting in his taxi. Good afternoon, my friend, said Msimangu. Good afternoon, Mfundisi. I want a taxi, my friend. What do you charge to Johannesburg? For you, Mfundisi, I should charge 11 shillings. It is a lot of money. Another taxi would charge you 15 or 20 shillings. The man was about to start his engine, but Msimango said, I am told that you can help me to find a young man, Absalom Kumalo. Have no doubt, too, that this man is afraid. But Msimango is quick to explain to him. I am not here for trouble, he said, but my friend is the father of this young man, and he has come from Natal to find him. Yes, I knew this young man. And where is he now, my friend? I heard he had gone to live in Shantytown. There you have helped me, my friend. Come, we shall take your taxi. They climbed in, and the taxi drove out of Alexandra onto the broad high road. You see the bicycles. These are the thousands of Alexandra people returning home after their work, and soon we shall see thousands of them walking because of the trouble with the buses. And true, they had not gone far before the streets were full of the walking people. Many of the white people stopped their cars and took in the black people to help them on their journey to Alexandra. They saw the police trying to prevent this, and once when they stopped, they heard one policeman ask a white man if he had a license to carry the black people. I am asking no money, said the white man. But you are carrying passengers on a bus route, said the officer. Then take me to court, said the white man. But they heard no more than that, for they had to move on with the traffic. Then take me to court, repeated Msimango quietly. Then take me to court. Chapter 9. All roads lead to Johannesburg. All roads lead to Johannesburg. If you are white or if you are black, they lead to Johannesburg. If the crops fail, there is work in Johannesburg. If there are taxes to be paid, there is work in Johannesburg. If the farm is too small to be divided further, some must go to Johannesburg. If there is a child to be born that must be born in secret, it can be born in Johannesburg. The black people go to Alexandra or Sophiatown or Orlando and try to hire rooms or to buy a share of a house. Have you a room that you could let? No, I have no room. Have you a room that you could let? It is let already. Have you a room that you could let? They say there are 10,000 of us in Orlando alone, living in other people's houses. Do you hear what Dubala says? That we must put up our own houses here in Orlando. And where do we put up the houses? On the open ground by the railway line, Dubala says. And of what do we build the houses? Anything you can find, sacks and wood and grass from the grasslands and sticks from the field. And when it rains? When it rains, they will have to build us houses. It is foolishness. What shall we do in the winter? 6 years waiting for a house, and the houses grow still fuller, for the people still come to Johannesburg. This night they are busy in Orlando. I shall carry the iron, and you, my wife, the child, and you, my son, 2 sticks and many sacks, down to the land by the railway lines. Many people are moving there. You can hear the sound of digging and hammering already. It is good that the night is warm and there is no rain. Thank you, Mr. Dubala. We are satisfied with this piece of ground. Thank you, Mr. Dubala. Here is our shilling for the committee. Shantytown is up overnight. What a surprise for the people when they wake in the morning. The newspapers are full of us. This great village of sack and wood and iron, with no rent to pay, only a shilling to the committee. Shantytown is up overnight. The child coughs badly, and her face is as hot as fire. The cold wind comes through the sacks. What shall we do in the rain, in the winter? Quietly, my child. Do not cough any more. Your mother is by you. But the child coughs badly. Her face is hotter than fire. What shall we do in the rain, in the winter? Already some of them are saying, Look at those houses over the hill, which they have started to build because we built Shantytown. They are not finished, but the roofs are on. One night we shall move there and be safe from the rain and the winter. Chapter 10. The Reformatory. And this is Shantytown, my friend. Khumalo looked around at the houses. A sheet of iron, a few bits of wood, sack and grass, an old door from some forgotten house. There is a smell of food. There is a sound of voices. The sun shines warmly down from the cloudless sky. But what will they do when it rains? What will they do when it is winter? See, there is one of our black nurses. Does she not look well in her uniform? The white people are training more and more of them. It is strange how we move forward in some things and go backward in others. Yet, in this matter of nurses and doctors, we have many friends among the white people. Good morning, nurse. Did you ever know a young man, Absalom Khumalo? Yes, I did, but he is not here now. He stayed at that house over there. The woman of the house smiled at them in a friendly way. Mother, we are looking for a lad, Absalom Khumalo. He stayed with me, Mfundisi. We took pity on him because he had no place to go, but I am sorry to tell you that they took him away, and the magistrate sent him to the reformatory. The reformatory? Yes, the big school, beyond the hospital. It is not too far to walk. I must thank you, mother. Stay well. Come, my friend. They walked on in silence, for neither of them had any words. Khumalo would have fallen, though the road was straight and even, and Msimango took his arm. Have courage, my brother. Sometimes it seems that I have no more courage. I was afraid of this. Yes, I too was afraid of it. Yes, I remember when you first became afraid. The day at Alexandra, when you sent me on, and you returned to speak again to the woman. What did the woman say to you, my friend? She said that these 2 young men were making trouble. Many goods, white people's goods, came to the house. This reformatory, can they reform there? I do not know. Some people say one thing, some the other, but your friend the priest from England speaks well of it. They came to the reformatory, where one of their own people, a pleasant fellow, asked them what they wanted, and took them to an office where a young white man inquired of them in Afrikaans what was their business. "We are looking, sir, for the son of my friend, one Absalom Kumalo," said Msimango in the same language. "Absalom Kumalo? Yes, I know him well. Strange, he told me he had no people." "Your son told him that he had no people," said Msimango in Zulu. "He was no doubt ashamed," said Kumalo. "I am sorry," he said to Msimango in Zulu, "that I speak no Afrikaans." For he had heard that sometimes they do not like black people who speak no Afrikaans. The young man understood him and said in English, "You may speak what you will. Your son did well here, and I have great hope for his future." "You mean, sir, that he is gone?" "Gone, yes. Only 1 month ago. We made an exception in this case, partly because of his good behavior, partly because of his age, but mainly because there was a girl who is going to have a child by him. She came here to see him, and he seemed fond of her and anxious about the child that would be born. And so, after he promised us that he would work for his child and its mother, we let him go." "And is he now married, sir?" "No, Umfundisi, he is not. But everything is arranged for the marriage. This girl has no people, and your son told us he had no people, so I myself have arranged it." "That is good of you, sir. I thank you for them. It is our work. You must not worry too much about this matter, and the fact that they were not married. The real question is whether he will care for them, and lead a decent life. I will take you to Pimville, where Absalom and this girl are living. He will not be there, because I have found work for him in the town, and they have given me good reports of him. I persuaded him to open a post office book, and he already has 3 or 4 pounds in it. Indeed, I cannot thank you enough, sir. It is our work," said the young man. At the house in Pimville they were greeted by a young girl, who herself seemed no more than a child. "We have come to inquire after Absalom," said the young white man. "This Umfundisi is his father." "He went on Saturday to Springs," she said, "and he has not yet returned." The young man was silent for a while, then looked confused or angry. "But this is Tuesday," he said. "Have you heard nothing from him?" "Nothing," she said. "When will he return?" he asked. "I do not know," she said. "Will he ever return?" he asked. "I do not know," she said. She said it hopelessly, as one who is used to waiting, to being left suddenly alone. Kumalo was moved to pity. "What will you do?" he said. "I do not know," she said. Msimango turned to Kumalo. "You can do nothing here," he said. "Let us go. Have you not troubles enough of your own? I tell you there are thousands of such girls in Johannesburg." "You do not understand. I will be the child's grandfather." "Even that you do not know," said Msimango angrily. "And if you were, how many more such have you? Shall we search them out day after day, hour after hour? Will it ever end?" Kumalo stood in the dust like one who has been struck. Then, without speaking any more, he took his seat in the car. They stopped at the gate of the village, and the young white man got out and went into an office. He came back, his face unhappy. "I have telephoned the factory," he said. "It is true. He has not been at work this week." At Orlando they climbed out, and the young man spoke to Kumalo. "I am sorry for this," he said. "I am sorry too, for this end to your work." "Yes, it is my work, but it is your son. Let us not give up all hope. It has happened sometimes that a boy is arrested or is injured and taken to hospital, and we do not know. Do not give up hope, Umfundisi. I will not give up the search." They watched him drive away. "He is a good man," said Kumalo. "Come, let us walk." But Msimango did not move. "I am ashamed to walk with you," he said. I ask you to forgive my ugly words. You are forgiven, but I have something to ask of you." Msimango looked at him, searching his face, and then he said, "It is agreed." "What is agreed?" "That I should take you again to see this girl." They walked along the hot road to Orlando, and both fell silent, each, no doubt, with many things in mind. Chapter 11. Murder in Parkwold. It was a pleasant evening at the mission house. Father Vincent, the rosy-cheeked priest, was there, and they talked about the place where Khumalo lived and worked. And the white man, in his turn, spoke about his own country. But even this pleasure was not to be complete, for one of the white priests came in from the city with the evening newspaper and showed them the large black lines. "Murder in Parkwold. Well-known city engineer shot dead. Attackers thought to be natives." "This is a terrible loss for South Africa," said the white priest, "for this Arthur Jarvis was a courageous young man, and a great fighter for justice. And it is a terrible loss for the church, too. He was one of the finest of all our young helpers, and was the president of the African Boys' Club here in Claremont." "Perhaps you might have known him," said Father Vincent to Khumalo. "It says that he was the only child of Mr. James Jarvis of High Place, Carisbrooke." "I know the father," said Khumalo sadly. "I mean, I know him well by sight and name, but we have never spoken. His farm is in the hills above Ndocheni, and he sometimes rode past our church, but I did not know the son." He was silent. Then he said, "But I remember there was a small bright boy, and he too sometimes rode on his horse past the church. A small bright boy, I remember, though I do not remember it well." And he was silent again. For who is not silent when someone is dead, who was a small, bright boy? "Shall I read this?" said Father Vincent. "At 1:30 p.m. today, Mr. Jarvis of Plantation Road, Parkwold, was shot dead in his house by someone thought to be a native. Mrs. Jarvis and her 2 children were away, and Mr. Jarvis had stayed at home with a slight cold. It would seem that a native, probably with 2 friends, entered by the kitchen, thinking, no doubt, that there would be no one in the house. The native servant in the kitchen was knocked unconscious, and it would appear that Mr. Jarvis heard the noise and came down to investigate. He was shot dead at close range. 3 native youths were seen waiting in Plantation Road just before the incident occurred. The native servant is lying unconscious in the non-European hospital, and it is hoped that when he becomes conscious, he will be able to give the police important information. His condition is serious, however. The dead man was well known for his interest in the welfare of the non-European sections of the community." A silence falls upon them all. This is no time to talk of the beauty of any country. Sadness and fear and hate, how they rise up in the heart and mind. Cry for the broken tribe, for the law and custom that is gone, and cry for the man who is dead, for the woman and children who have lost him. Cry, the beloved country, these things are not yet at an end. The sun pours down on the earth, on the lovely land that man cannot enjoy. He knows only the fear of his heart. Msimango walked with Khumalo to the gate of the little house of Mrs. Litebi. Khumalo's face was full of suffering. "This thing," he said, "this thing. Here in my heart there is nothing but fear. Fear, fear, fear." "I understand. Yet it is foolish to fear that one thing in this great city, with its thousands and thousands of people. It is not a question of wisdom and foolishness. It is just fear. Come and pray." There is no prayer left in me. I am silent here inside. I have no words at all. Good night, my brother. Good night. There are times, no doubt, when God seems no more to be about the world. Chapter 12. The Search for Absalom. Have no doubt it is fear in the land. For what can men do when so many have grown lawless? Who can enjoy the lovely land? Who can enjoy the 70 years and the sun that pours down on the earth when there is fear in the heart? Who can walk quietly in the shadow of the trees when there is danger? Who can lie peacefully in bed while the darkness holds some secret? There are voices crying, "What must be done?" 100, 1,000 voices. But what do they help if one cries this, and one cries that, and another cries something that is neither this nor that? It's terrible that we have so few police. We must demand more protection. I say we shall always have native crime to fear until the native people of this country have worthy purposes and worthy goals to work for. It is only because they see neither purpose nor goal that they turn to drink and crime. The answer does not lie in more police and more protection. I am sure that increased schooling would cause a decrease in crime among native children. Don't you think that more schooling would only produce cleverer criminals? Why can't they make places where the natives can relax, away from the European districts? And how long will it take them to get there? And how long to get back? How many hours do you give your servants off on a Sunday? Oh, it's too hot to argue. Yes, there are 100 and 1,000 voices crying. But what does one do when one cries this thing and one cries another? Who knows how we shall create a land of peace where there are so many more black than white people? Cry, the beloved country, for the unborn child that will feel our fear. Let him not love the earth too deeply. Let him not laugh too gladly when the water runs through his fingers, nor stand too silent when the setting sun makes red the grasslands with fire. Let him not be too moved when the birds of his land are singing, nor give too much of his heart to a mountain or a valley, for fear will rob him of all if he gives too much. Mr. Umsimango. Ah, it is Mrs. Ndela of N Street. Mr. Umsimango, the police have been to me. They are looking for the son of the old Umfundisi. For what, mother? They did not say, Mr. Umsimango. Is it bad, mother? It looks bad. I was frightened, Umfundisi, so I gave them the address, Mrs. Mkize, 79, 23rd Avenue, Alexandra, and one said, yes, this woman was known to the police. Did I do wrong, Umfundisi? I was afraid. You did no wrong, mother. It is the law. We must obey the law. He thanks the simple woman and tells her to go well. He stands for a moment, then turns quickly to go out. But he is too late, for, as he opens his door, Kumalo stands before him. You are going out, my friend. Umsimango is silent. Come in, said Umsimango at last, and he shut the door. I have just had a visit from Mrs. Ndela. The police came to her house looking for the boy. She gave them the address of Mrs. Mkize. Why do they want the boy? Asked Kumalo. That we do not know. I was ready to go there when you came. You are going alone? The old man asked. I was going alone, yes. But now that I have told you, you may come also. There are no buses, so we must go by taxi. I have money. No one must pay but me. It will take a great deal of money, said Msimango. Kumalo took out his purse eagerly. Here is my money, he said. We shall use it then. Come, let us look for a taxi. Mrs. Mkize! She drew back, angry. Have the police been here? What did they want? They wanted the boy. And where have they gone? To Shantytown. She draws back again, remembering. To the address you said you did not know? Said Msimango. What could I do? She said. It was the police. I did not know the address. Shantytown, I told them. In Shantytown, at the house they had visited before, Msimango asked, Had the police been here? They were here, Umfundisi. They wanted the boy. For what, mother? Did it seem serious? I do not know, Umfundisi. And where have they gone? To the reformatory, Umfundisi. At the reformatory, the white man was out, and Msimango asked the native deputy, Have the police been here? They have been here. It was now that they left. They wanted the boy, Absalom Kumalu. Why did they want him? Did it seem serious? I do not know. I really could not say. And where did they go? To Pimville, Umfundisi, to the home of the girl. My child, have the police been here? They have been here. Now they were here. They wanted Absalom, Umfundisi. I told them I had not seen him since Saturday. And why did they want him? Cried Kumalo. She drew back, frightened. I do not know, she said. Did it seem serious? Asked Msimango. It seemed serious, Umfundisi. What is the trouble? She asked. We do not know, replied Msimango. The world is full of trouble, she said. They told me I must let them know if he comes. Her eyes were full of trouble. What shall I do? She said. Tell the police, said Msimango, and tell us also. How much is your charge? Asks Msimango. £2 and 10 shillings, says the taxi driver. I should like to help you in this, says Msimango. You are kind, says Kumalo, trembling, but no one must pay but me. And he draws the notes from the few that remain in the purse. You are trembling, my friend. I am cold, very cold. Msimango looks up at the cloudless sky, from which the sun of Africa is pouring down upon the earth. Come to my room, he says. We shall have a fire and make you warm again. Chapter 13. Why Fear the One Thing? That evening, alone in his own room, Kumalo sat and thought. Yes, it was true what Msimango had said. Why fear the one thing in a great city where there were thousands and thousands of people? His son had got into trouble in the great city, where so many others had got into trouble. But that he should kill a man, a white man, there was nothing that he could remember, nothing at all in all the years when his son was a boy that could make it possible for him to do such a terrible thing. Perhaps when his son and the girl were married, they would go back with him to Undocheni, and then he could try to rebuild what had been broken. Yes, Msimango was right. It was the not knowing that made him fear this one thing in a great city where there were thousands and thousands of people. Chapter 14. The Prison. 2 days later, just as Kumalo was about to call the small boy to play with him, he saw, with the fear catching at him suddenly with a physical pain, Msimango and the young white man coming into the house. "Good afternoon, Umfundisi. Is there a place where we can talk?" asked the young man. "Come to my room," he said, hardly trusting to his voice. In the room he shut the door and stood, not looking at them. "I have heard what you fear," said the young man. "It is true." And Khumalo could not look at them. He sat down in his chair and fixed his eyes upon the floor. What does one say now? "They will say we let him out too soon," said the young man at last. The other two were not reformatory boys, but it was he who fired the shot. "My friend," said Msimango, in as ordinary a voice as he could find, "one of the two others is the son of your brother." "Do you wish to come to the prison, Umfundisi? I have arranged it for you." And Khumalo nodded. "But my brother first," he said. "I shall show you the way," said Msimango. "And I shall wait at the mission," said the young man. "I shall walk slowly up the street," said Khumalo. "You must tell the women what has happened." Msimango caught him up at the top of the hill and took his arm, and it was like walking with a child or with one that was sick. So they came to the shop. "Do not come further," said Khumalo. "It is I who must do this." Yes, the bull voice was there, loud and confident. His brother John was sitting there on a chair, talking to two other men, sitting there like a chief. "Ah, my brother, it is you. Well, well, I am glad to see you. Will you not come and join us?" "I am sorry, but I come again on business, urgent business." "I am sure my friends will excuse us." So they all said stay well and go well, and the two men left them. "Well, well, I am glad to see you, my brother. And your business? How does it progress? Have you found the wandering boy?" And he laughed at that, a great bull laugh. "He is found, my brother. He is in prison, arrested for the murder of a white man." "Murder?" The man does not joke now. One does not joke about murder, still less about the murder of a white man. "Yes, murder. He broke into a house in a place they call Parkwold and killed the white man who would have prevented him." "What? I remember. Only a day or two ago. On Tuesday?" Yes, he remembers. He remembers, too, that his own son and his brother's son are friends. The blood stands out on the bull neck. Have no doubt it is fear in the eyes. He wipes his face with a cloth. "I am sorry, my brother," says Khumalo. "You mean?" "Yes, he was there also." John Khumalo whispers, "God, God," and again, "God, oh my God." Khumalo puts his hand on his brother's shoulders. "There are many things I could say, but I say only that I know what you suffer. There is a young white man waiting to take me to the prison. Perhaps he would take you also." They set out along the street to the mission house. The old man walks now more steadily. It is the other who seems bent and broken. Father Vincent, the rosy-cheeked priest from England, takes Khumalo's hand in both his own. "Anything," he says, "anything. You have only to ask. I shall do anything." They pass through the great gate in the high wall. John Khumalo is taken to one room, and the young man goes with Stephen Khumalo to another. There the son is brought to them. The old man takes his son's hand in both his own, and the hot tears fall fast upon them. The boy stands unhappy. There is no gladness in his eyes. He twists his head from side to side. "My child, my child." "Yes, my father." "At last I have found you." Yes, my father. And it is too late. To this the boy makes no answer, as though he may find some hope in this silence. The father presses him. Is it not too late? He asks, but there is no answer. Almost eagerly, is it not too late? He asks. My father, it is what my father says, he answers. I have searched in every place for you. To that also no answer. The old man lets go of his hands, and his son's hands slip from them lifelessly. Why did you do this terrible thing? I do not know, he says. Why did you carry a gun? For safety, he says. This Johannesburg is a dangerous place. A man never knows when he will be attacked. But why take it to this house? And this again cannot be answered. Have they got it, my child? Yes, my father. They have no doubt it was you. I told them, my father. What did you tell them? I told them I was frightened when the white man came, so I shot him. I did not mean to kill him. And your cousin? And the other? Yes, I told them. They came with me, but it was I who shot the white man. Did you go there to steal? And this again cannot be answered. You were at the reformatory, my child. Did they treat you well? They treated me well, he said. And this is your repayment, my child. The young white man comes over, for he does not like to see these two hurting each other. Well, Absalom, why did you leave the work that I got for you? And you, young man, can get no answer. There are no answers to these things. And your girl, the one we let you go to, the girl who you worried over, so that we took pity on you. Absalom cries. Who knows if he cries for the girl he has left, or does he cry for himself? Answer me one thing, my child, says Khumalo. You wrote nothing, sent no message. You went with bad people. You stole and broke in. But why? The boy seizes upon the word that is given him. It was bad people, he says. That is no answer, says Khumalo. But he knows he will get no other this way. The young white man comes to them again. Do you still wish to marry the girl? He asks. Yes, sir. I shall see what I can do, says the young man. I think it is time for us to go. May we come again? Yes, you may come again. We shall ask about it at the gate. Stay well, my child. Go well, my father. They go, and outside the gate they meet John Khumalo. He is feeling better, the big man. Well, well, he says, we must go at once and see a lawyer. A lawyer, my brother? For what should we spend such money? The story is plain. There cannot be doubt about it. What is the story? Asks John Khumalo. The story? These three lads went to a house that they thought was empty. They struck down the servant. The white man heard the noise, and he came to see. And then, my son. Mine, not yours. Shot at him. He was afraid, he says. Well, well, says John Khumalo, that is a story. And he told you this in front of the others? Why not, if it is the truth? John Khumalo seems happier. Perhaps you do not need a lawyer, he said. If he shot the white man, there is nothing more to be said. Will you have a lawyer then? John Khumalo smiles at his brother. Perhaps I shall need a lawyer, he says. For one thing, a lawyer can talk to my son in private. You see, my brother, there is no proof that my son or this other young man was there at all. Yes, John Khumalo smiles at that. He seems quite recovered. "Not there at all. But my son, yes, yes." John Khumalo interrupts him and smiles at him. "Who will believe your son?" he asks. He says it with meaning, with cruel and pitiless meaning. Khumalo looks at his brother, but his brother does not look at him. Indeed, he walks away. Wearily, wearily, Khumalo goes, from the great gate in the wall to the street. "God," he says, "God, do not leave me." Father Vincent's words come back to him. "Anything, anything," he said. "You have only to ask." Then to Father Vincent he will go. Chapter 15. Father Vincent. Khumalo returned to Mrs. Litabe's tired and unhappy. The two women were silent, and he had no desire to play with the small child. He withdrew into his room to rest before going to the mission house, but there was a knock at the door, and there stood the young white man. "Umfundisi," said the young man, "about this lawyer. I think you must have a lawyer, not because the truth must not be told, but because I do not trust your brother. You can see what is in his mind. His plan is to deny that his son and the third man were with your son. A lawyer would know whether that will make matters worse or not. And Absalom says that he fired the gun because he was afraid, with no intention of killing the white man. It needs a lawyer to make the court believe that is true." "Yes, I see that." "Do you know of any lawyer, of your church maybe?" "No, sir, I do not. But Father Vincent will know." So they walked to the mission house. "I think I could get a good man to take the case," said Father Vincent. "We are agreed that it is to be the truth and nothing but the truth, and that the defense will be that the shot was fired in fear and not to kill." "And what about the marriage?" asked the young man. "I shall ask him about that also. I would gladly marry them if it can be arranged." Father Vincent put his hand on the old man's arm. "Be of good courage," he said. "Whatever happens, your son will be severely punished, but if his defense is accepted, it will not be the extreme punishment." When the young man had gone, Khumalo said to the English priest, "You can understand this has been a sad journey. At first it was a search, and I was anxious. But as the search went on, step by step, so did the anxiety turn to fear, and this fear grew deeper step by step. But it was here, when we heard of the murder, that my fear grew into something too great to bear." After a pause, he continued, "Nsimango said to me, 'Why fear this one thing in a city where there are thousands and thousands of people?' That comforted me, and it did not comfort me. And even now, I can hardly believe that this thing, which happens one time in 1,000, has happened to me. Sometimes, for a moment or two, I can believe that I shall wake and find it has not happened. But it is only for a moment or two. To think," said Khumalo, "that my wife and I lived out our lives there in Ndocheni, not knowing that this thing was coming step by step. There is a man sleeping there in the grass, and over him is gathering the greatest storm of all his days, bringing death and destruction. People hurry home past him, to places safe from danger, and whether they do not see him there in the grass, or whether they fear to stop even a moment, they do not wake him, they let him be." They were silent a long time. "My friend," said Father Vincent, Your anxiety turned to fear, and your fear turned to sorrow. But sorrow is better than fear. Fear is a journey, a terrible journey, but sorrow is at least an arriving.
And where have I arrived? Asked Khumalo.
When the storm threatens, a man is afraid for his house. But when the house is destroyed, there is something to do. About a storm he can do nothing, but he can rebuild a house.
At my age? Asked Khumalo. Look what has happened to the house that I built when I was young and strong. What kind of house shall I build now?
No one can understand the ways of God, said Father Vincent.
It seems that God has turned from me, said Khumalo.
That may seem to happen, but it does not happen. Never, never does it happen.
I am glad to hear you, said Khumalo quietly, but my son is now a stranger to me. I cannot touch him. I see no shame in him, no pity for those he has hurt. Tears come out of his eyes, but it seems that he cries only for himself. He who has made 2 children lose their father.
Stop, cried Father Vincent. Go and pray. Go and rest, and do not judge your son too quickly. Pray for Gertrude, and for her child, and for the girl that is to be your son's wife, and for the unborn child. Pray for your wife and all at Ndotcheni. Pray for the soul of him who was killed, and for the woman and children that have lost him. Pray for us at the mission house. Pray for your own rebuilding, and do not fear to pray for your son.
I hear you, said Khumalo quietly.
And give thanks where you can give thanks. He led the old man to the door of the mission. I shall pray for you, he said, night and day. That I shall do, and anything more that you ask. Chapter 16. Absalom's Girl. The next day Khumalo went alone to see the girl who was with child by his son. The girl opened the door to him, and she smiled at him uncertainly, with something that was fear and something that was welcoming.
Have you heard of your husband?
He asked. The smile went from her face. I have not heard, she said.
What I have to say is serious,
he said.
He is in prison.
In prison?
She said. He is in prison for the most terrible thing that a man can do.
But the girl did not understand him.
He has killed a white man.
She cried out and put her hands over her face, and Khumalo himself could not continue, for the words were like knives, cutting into a wound that was still new and open. She sat down on a box and looked at the floor, and the tears started to run slowly down her cheeks.
I do not wish to speak of it, my child. Can you read the white man's newspaper?
A little.
Then I shall leave it with you. I do not wish to speak of it any more. I have come to speak with you of another matter. Do you wish to marry my son?
It is as the Umfundisi sees it.
Is it truly your wish to marry him? I must be certain. I do not wish to take you into my family if you are unwilling.
At those words, she looked up eagerly. I am willing, she said.
We live in a far place, he said. There are no streets and lights there. There is only me and my wife, and the place is very quiet. You are a Zulu?
Yes, Umfundisi.
Where are your parents?
My father left my mother. They quarreled, Umfundisi, because my mother was so often drunk.
So your father left, and he left you also? What did you do?
I left that house, and I lived in Sophia town.
Alone?
No, not alone.
With your first husband? He asked coldly. How many have there been?
She laughed nervously. Only 3, she said.
And what happened to the first?
He was caught by the police, Umfundisi.
And the second?
He was caught also.
And now the third is caught also.
He stood up, and a wish to hurt her came into him.
Yes, your third is caught also, but now it is for murder. Have you had a murderer before?
No, no, no,
she cried.
And he, seeing her and her thin body, was ashamed for his cruelty.
How old are you, my child?
I do not know, she cried, but I think I am 16. And deep pity rose up in him.
Tell me, do you truly wish to marry my son?
She reached for his hands. I wish it, she said.
And to go to a quiet and far-off place and be our daughter?
I wish it greatly, she said.
Have you clothes for the marriage?
I have some clothes, Umfundisi.
And you must not live here. I shall find you a place near me. Stay well then, my child.
Go well, Umfundisi.
He went out of the house, and she followed him to the little gate. When he turned back to look at her, she was smiling at him. He walked on like a man from whom a pain has lifted a little, not altogether, but a little. And he remembered too that Father Vincent had said, I shall pray night and day. At the corner he turned, and, looking back, saw that the girl was still watching him. Mrs. Litebi, you have heard of this girl who is with child by my son. She wishes to marry my son. Then, whatever may happen, she will go with me to Ndoceni and bear her child there in a clean and decent home.
You would like to bring her here first, Umfundisi?
Indeed, that would be a great kindness. Mother, I am grateful. Indeed, you are a mother to me.
Why else do we live? She said. Chapter 17. The Lawyer. He passed again through the great gate in the high wall, and they brought the boy to him. Again he took the lifeless hand in his own, and was again moved to tears, this time by the sadness of his son. Are you in health, my son? The son looked at one window, then moved and looked at the other, but not at his father. I have some business for you, my son. Are you certain that you wish to marry this girl? I can marry her?
There is a friend of mine, a white priest, and he will see if it can be arranged, and he will get a lawyer for you.
There is still some life in the eyes, of some hope, maybe.
You would like a lawyer?
They say one can be helped by a lawyer.
You told the police that these other 2 were with you?
I told them, and now I have told them again, and then they fetched them from their cells, and they were angry with me, and shouted at me in front of the police, and said that I was trying to bring them into trouble.
And then?
And then they asked what proof I had, and the only proof I had was that it was true. It was these 2 and no other. Then they shouted at me again, and said one to the other, how can he lie so about us?
They were your friends?
Yes, they were my friends.
And they will leave you to suffer alone?
Now I see it.
Be of courage, my son. Do not forget there is a lawyer, but it is only the truth you must tell him.
I shall tell him only the truth, my father. He must come soon, my father, or it may be too late, he said.
Have no fear of that. He will come soon, and Father Vincent will come to see you. And the marriage, that will be arranged. And the girl, I had not told you she is living with me in Sophiatown, and she will come back with me to Indocheni, and the child will be born there.
It is good, my father.
And you may write now to your mother.
I shall write, my father.
And wipe away your tears.
The prison guard said to the boy,
You may stay here. There is a lawyer to see you. You, old man, you must go.
Khumalo returned to the mission house and was having tea with Father Vincent when the lawyer came to see them.
I shall take the case for you, Mr. Khumalo, said the lawyer. Pro deo, as we say. It is a simple case, for the boy says that he fired because he was afraid, not meaning to kill. But with regard to the other two boys, I do not know what to say. I believe your son is speaking the truth. It is for me to persuade the court that your son is speaking the truth. Now, I must have all the facts about your son, Mr. Khumalo, what sort of child he was, whether he was truthful and obedient, and when and why he left home, and what he has done since he came to Johannesburg. You understand?
I understand, sir. You may thank God that we have got this man, said Father Vincent, when the lawyer had gone. He is one of the greatest lawyers in South Africa, and one of the greatest friends of your people.
I do thank God, and you too, Father. But I have one anxiety. What will it cost? My little money is nearly gone.
Did you not hear him say he would take the case pro deo? That is Latin, and it means for God.
He takes it for God?
Yes, it will cost you nothing, or at least very little.
Khumalo looked at him. I have never met such kindness, he said quietly. He turned away his face, for he cried easily these days. Father Vincent smiled at him.
Go well, my friend, he said. Book 2 Chapter 1 High Place. There is a lovely road that runs from Isopo into the hills. These hills are grass-covered and rolling, and they are too lovely to describe. The road climbs 11 kilometers into them, to Carisbrook, and from there, if there is no mist, you look down on one of the fairest valleys of Africa. About you there is grass, and you may hear the forlorn crying of the titihoya, one of the birds of the grasslands. Below you is the valley of the Umzimkhulu, on its journey from the Drakensberg Mountains to the sea, and beyond and behind the river, great hill after great hill, and beyond and behind them, the mountain of Ingeli and East Griqualand. The grass is rich and thick. You cannot see the soil. It holds the rain and the mist, and they sink slowly into the ground, feeding the streams in every small valley. It is well looked after, and not too many cattle feed upon it. Not too many fires burn it, leaving the soil empty. Up here on the tops is a small and lovely valley, between two hills that shelter it. There is a house there, and flat planted fields. They will tell you that it is one of the finest farms of this countryside. It is called High Place, the farm and dwelling place of Mr. James Jarvis, and it stands high above Ndocheni and the great valley of the Umzimkhulu. Jarvis watched the ploughing with sad eyes. The hot afternoon sun of October poured down on the fields, and there was no cloud in the sky. Rain, rain. There was no rain. The lumps of earth turned up hard and unbroken, and the